Ban, come on. Climb onto my back and let's dive into the ocean together. I'm going to show you something amazing. The ocean is full of wonders, and there's so much to discover. Wow, I can't wait. What are we going to see? We'll see beautiful coral reefs, strange creatures, and maybe even some hidden treasures. Just hold on tight. The ocean is huge, Ban. Did you know that it covers more than 70% of the Earth's surface? 70%? That's incredible. So, what's under the water? What kind of creatures live here? Well, there are so many creatures. There are fish, sharks, whales, and even giant squid. The ocean is a home to millions of different animals, big and small. Wow, I didn't know the ocean had so many different creatures. Are all these animals important? Yes, every animal plays a role in the ocean's ecosystem. For example, fish help keep the water clean, while whales, like me, help to keep the balance in the ocean. That's amazing! How deep does the ocean go? Is there a place where no one has ever been? The ocean is very deep, Ban. Some parts are over 36,000 feet deep. That's deeper than Mount Everest is tall. And yes, there are many places in the ocean where no one has been. There are parts of the ocean that are completely unexplored. 36,000 feet deep? That's so deep. What's in these deep parts of the ocean? In the deepest parts of the ocean, there are strange creatures that look like they come from another planet. Some of them are bioluminescent, which means they can glow in the dark. That sounds incredible. What do they look like? Some of them are jellyfish with glowing tentacles, while others are fish with glowing eyes. It's like a whole other world down there. Do these creatures live near the ocean floor? Yes, they do. The ocean floor is the bottom of the ocean. It's covered in mud and rocks, and some parts are very rocky and uneven. That sounds mysterious. What else can we find in the ocean? There are coral reefs, which are like underwater cities for fish. Coral reefs are made of tiny animals called corals, and they provide shelter and food for many sea creatures. Coral reefs sound so beautiful. What other types of landscapes are in the ocean? Well, the ocean floor has mountains, valleys, and even underwater volcanoes. The ocean is always changing. Some parts of the ocean are calm, while others are very turbulent with strong currents. Are there any places in the ocean where people live? Yes, there are people who live on islands in the ocean. Some islands are big, like Hawaii, while others are tiny. People on these islands rely on the ocean for food, transportation, and work. Wow! So people live so close to the ocean. What's the water like here, Whale? The water is crystal clear here, Ban. The ocean can be very clear in some places, like in the Caribbean, where you can see all the way to the bottom. Is the ocean always clear? Not always. The water can be murky in some areas, especially where there is a lot of sand or dirt in the water. But even in murky water, there's a lot of life. That's so cool. I feel like I'm learning so much about the ocean, Whale. I'm glad to hear that, Ban. And there's always more to learn. The ocean is full of mysteries waiting to be discovered. For example, did you know that the ocean has tides? Tides? What are tides? Tides are the rise and fall of the ocean's water levels. They happen because of the moon's gravity. When the moon pulls on the water, it causes the water to rise and fall. That's amazing. The moon controls the ocean's water? Yes, it does. Tides can be high or low, depending on the position of the moon. And tides affect many things in the ocean, like where fish live and how ships travel. So the moon is really powerful then. What else can we see in the ocean? Look at that, Ban. Do you see the fish swimming in schools? When fish swim together in large groups like that, it's called a school. It's a way for them to protect themselves from predators. That's so cool. It's like they're all working together. Exactly. And did you know that some fish can communicate with each other using sound? They can make noises to warn each other about danger. That's incredible. It's like a secret language under the sea. Yes, Bon, the ocean is full of amazing things. And there's still so much we don't know about it. Nico, where are we headed now? I want to show you a special place. There is the perfect life. People don't know about its existence, so it remains pure and untouched. These are magical islands, crystal clear waters, and every inhabitant is happy. On these islands, creatures live who resemble humans, but you've never seen anything like them before. And perhaps you will never see anything like them again. That's why we are heading there. And I will tell you all about what is there. The islands are scattered like precious pearls on a vast water surface. Each one is special. On one, there are forests where the leaves sing in the wind. On another, there are crystal clear lakes where the sky reflects in such colors that it feels like they were taken from a fairy tale. And somewhere among the hills, you can see fields of flowers that change color endlessly under the sunlight. As we approach the islands, the air begins to smell of flowers you've never smelled before. It's a light, sweet fragrance that makes you feel light, as if you become part of the wind. The shores of the island shine with a soft golden light. The sand here is not just yellow, but seems to be woven from tiny sparks of all the colors of the rainbow. On these islands, there are no cities, no cars, no noise. Only light cottages woven from living branches and flowers. Each home is a part of nature. Branches grow right through the roofs, and instead of walls, there are transparent veils made of glowing plants. Everything here lives in harmony. The trees give sweet fruits by themselves, streams sing, and at night, millions of tiny lights glow in the grass, small creatures that resemble stardust. The most amazing thing is that every day here is unique. There is not a single identical morning. Sometimes the sunrise paints the sky pink, sometimes golden, and sometimes it becomes soft purple, like the petals of a blooming garden. And each dawn brings something new. One day might give you the wings of a dream, another the ability to understand the language of birds, and a third, hear the music of the wind itself. The locals call the islands Almari, which means home of happiness. They believe that happiness is not something to be sought, but something that lives inside each person. There are no rules here, except one. Be yourself and respect the miracle around you. That's why there are no wars, no quarrels, no envy. Only the joy of being together, the joy of living. If you look deep into the island, you can find marvelous forests where singing trees grow, and on their branches, colorful birds sleep, glowing softly at night. And if you go to the center of the island, you will find a large lake. It looks like a mirror reflecting the sky. The legend says that if you make a wish while looking into its waters at dawn, it will surely come true. But remember, you can only reach Almari once in your life, and only for those who have a place for a miracle in their hearts. If you've made it here, then you still know how to believe, and the island answered you with its miracle. Now we're going to sail towards where people live, and you'll see how everything around us starts to change. With every passing moment, the water becomes murkier and the air heavier. These places, which were once so clean and beautiful, are now filled with noise, dirt, and garbage. There are no islands, no magical forests here, just cities and factories where people do what they need to, but they don't think about the consequences. As we approach, you can hear the noise of machines, factories, and people rushing around, constantly hurrying. You see how the water is getting dirtier. It loses its transparency, covered with oil stains. The current carries trash, plastic bottles, bags, food scraps. All this clutters the ocean, making life difficult for marine creatures. Fish are leaving, coral reefs are disappearing, and nature around us begins to suffer. I know, it's hard to imagine how it got to this point. These places were once as pure as the islands we just saw. People weren't always like this. They lived in harmony with nature once, but over time, with the development of technology, they started forgetting that every action has consequences. Look at those huge factories standing by the ocean. Their smoke and exhaust gases aren't just chemicals. They're destroying entire ecosystems. Do you hear how the noise is getting louder? How the machines are speeding up and the air is becoming dirtier and dirtier? This is all part of what's called pollution. People throw garbage on the streets, dump it into the ocean, and don't even realize how they're losing touch with nature. Look, there are landfills on the shores, and people continue to gather trash, take it away, and leave it right there. Many of them understand that something needs to change, but it's still not enough. More attention and care for our common home is needed. The ocean is full of amazing things, and there's still so much we don't know about it. Thank you for showing me all this, whale. I'm learning so much. You're welcome, Ban. This is just the beginning of your ocean adventure. There's always more to explore.